Bears fans, and welcome to Week 10 of your coverage here on HersheyBears.com. I'm Scott Stuccio, and now it's time to go back on the road for the Chocolate and White, and that means it's time for us to go roaring on the road, presented by Travel Champs. Well, last weekend, the Bears came away with 4 out of a possible 6 points, and were essentially one period away from making it a perfect weekend, and that was with a daunting 3-game in less than 3-night stretch. Another 3-3 looms ahead this weekend, but in my opinion, it's going to be one of the toughest the Bears face this season. The most difficult portion of this weekend is right off of the start for the Bears. They will head back to Central New York State to take on the Syracuse Crunch. The Bears have had success against all of their opponents so far this year, taking at least one win from each team, except Syracuse. Back on November 14th, Chris Newberry got things started, scoring just .558 into the game. It was the only blemish on rookie goaltender Andrei Vasilevsky's night, as he went on to stop 21 other Hershey shots. The Crunch built off of that, getting a goal from Mike Angelidis to tie the game, and goals from Kevin Lynch, Henry Ikonen, Nikita Nestorov, and Jonathan Marchessault to send the hosts to a 5-1 win. The Crunch then came to Chocolatetown on November 29th and put a stop to any momentum the Bears picked up from their thrilling Thanksgiving Eve victory. Stan Galiev tied this game 1-1 with a power play goal that beat his fellow countryman Vasilevsky, but a third-period 2-goal performance from Cody Kunik would pace the Crunch to a 4-1 win. Vasilevsky made 28 saves on the night, but seemed to struggle, like he did in the first matchup, at controlling first shot attempts. What has made the Crunch so difficult to oppose is the fact that there is not any one standout player. Every single one has contributed, with 12 players finding the score sheet in the series. It would be reasonable to expect Vasilevsky in net on Friday at the War Memorial in the team's third meeting. So what does Troy Mann think is necessary to pick up a win? Troy, what makes the Syracuse Crunch so difficult, and what does it take to defeat a team that now has outscored you 9-2 in the season series?
Well, I think first and foremost, they really haven't seen our team play to its best abilities in both games. I thought that the second game, the score was probably not really indicative of the game. I thought we did a lot of great things in offensive zone play, and we couldn't get those goals early. And once they got a couple, then we kind of faded. But overall, they're a very hardworking team. They're a team that really is tenacious on the forecheck. So those are areas that we need to really come into Friday night in terms of our breakout ability and just outworking them over the course of the 60 minutes.
Now, obviously, you didn't see Binghamton last year, but of course you've seen him as assistant to Mark French before. That's a team that always is known for their offense. And talk about having to come play this team in this building for the first time this season, so long into the season.
Well, certainly, based on what's going on here in the first 6-7 weeks of the year, you would have liked to maybe seen them earlier when they weren't as hot. They're 7-2-1 in their last 10, and it's certainly a team that's been known to have some speed and play with some offensive flair here in the last 4 or 5 years. So, we're certainly going to have to continue to play well defensively, and I think at the same time, we just make sure we got to continue to build on what we've been doing here the last couple of weeks, and that's playing solid defense. And I really do believe our offense is rounding into form, and it'll be better here as we move forward.
That is correct. 64 days into the 2014-15 season, and the Bears still have not seen one of their East Division rivals. During that time, the Binghamton Senators have gone from not to hot very quickly, getting back to their usual high-scoring selves and hoisting themselves up into third place in the division. Despite falling 4-2 on the road against the Hartford Wolfpack on Sunday, the Sens are 7-2-0-1 in their last 10 games. The loss snapped a streak in which the club was unbeaten in regulation in their previous 7. It was also the first time since November 15th that the Sens were held to fewer than 3 goals in a game. Lighting the lamp 79 times through the first 9 weeks, the Sens are tops in the Eastern Conference and second in the league with an average goals per game of a whopping 3.43 and third in the league with an average of 34.17 shots on goal per game. Their offense is needed, however, as the club has allowed the most shots against at 35.22 per game. Defenseman Chris Weidman, a third-year pro and former college teammate of Cameron Schilling at Miami University of Ohio, is coming off of a career year in the Southern Tier as he was far and away the Sens' leading scorer from the blue line with 51 points. He is right back at it this year, leading the entire team in scoring with 23 points and pacing all AHL defensemen with 11 goals, 23 points, and 81 shots on goal. The Binghamton defense core is always deadly on offense as well, and it's no different this year. Each rear guard has points, with a combined 72 between Weidman, Patrick Mullen, Alex Grant, Frederick Clayson, Danny New, Mike Sadeo, and team captain Aaron Johnson. Of course, the crop of forwards under Sens head coach Luke Richardson are also deadly. Cole Schneider, currently tied for second on the club with 18 points, led the Sens against the Bears in last year's season series with 5 goals and 5 helpers. Returning forwards David Derzinski, Buddy Robinson, Shane Prince, Jean-Gabriel Pajot, Derek Grant, and Matt Pumple all recorded at least 4 points against Hershey last year as well. All that said, the Bears did pretty well against the Sens last year, as both teams evenly split the series with a mark of 5-3-1-1. The last time the two clubs met at Giant Center was a thriller, as Captain Dane Byers tipped home a shot with 2:36 left in overtime back on April 13th for the only goal of the game. Cameron Schilling talks about how difficult it is to defend against the Sens. Cameron, obviously one of the familiar players on Binghamton, your old teammate at Miami, and defenseman Chris Weidman. What has made him such a good teammate for the Binghamton room and the offense that he piles up? He's always been like that, I'm sure, in his playing days at college.
Oh yeah, definitely. He's always been an offensive defenseman. I mean, he ran our power play at Miami, and I think he runs their power play there, and he's put a lot of points up this season, got a lot of success. I think it's a long time coming for him. He's a very good puck-moving defenseman. He's got great vision and a really good shot in the power play.
And talk about how hard it is to defend this team. I mean, obviously one of the higher offensive talented teams in the whole league.
Yeah, exactly. They are always, year after year, have one of the top offenses in the league. So you got to be on your game. They're always trying backdoor passes. Their power play is lethal, so you can't be in the box the whole game. So it's definitely going to be a good test for our defense, but I think we're ready.
After taking on 2 talented offensive clubs, the Bears head back to Wilkes-Barre Scranton to continue a season series owned by Hershey, but only featuring 26 combined goals over 6 games. On Saturday, the Bears pulled a win out of Mohegan Sun Arena for the first time since February 16th, behind 2 tallies from the reigning CCM AHL Player of the Week, Chris Connor. But for the first time all season, Wilkes-Barre Scranton took a win at Giant Center on Sunday, getting their only power play goal of the series from Derek Pouliot, which stood up as the winner in a 3-2 contest. Pouliot scored twice, spoiling the teddy bear toss celebration triggered by Steve Oleksi's goal just 39 seconds into the game. The Bears are 4-1-1 against the Penguins and trail the East Division leaders by just 2 points. Both teams will play their second consecutive set of 3 games in 3 nights this weekend. Another action-filled weekend awaits for you fans out there. The Hershey Bears taking on all of these teams in a 3-game and 3-night set. Friday night, the puck drops at the Onondaga County War Memorial between the Bears and the Crunch at 7 o'clock this Friday night. Pre-game starts at 6:20 on Fox Sports 1460 and Soft Rock 100.1 WQIC. Back at Giant Center we come on Saturday, the first of 8 meetings between the Bears and Binghamton Senators. That's also set for 7 o'clock with pregame at 6:20 on the entire radio network. And 5,000 of you, the first 5,000 through the gates, get the UGI Dane Byers bobblehead. And on Sunday, it's a 4:05 p.m. face-off between the Bears and Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins. Pregame launches at 3:25 on Fox Sports 1460 and Soft Rock 100.1 WQIC. I'm Scott Stuccio. Thanks for watching Roaring on the Road, presented by Travel Champs. We'll talk to you this weekend.